Yo, what's going on, guys? It's been a while since I made a video, but here I am. I want to start doing things a little different. I want to do tutorials on installing games on the 3DS because I'm like really into the 3DS scene. So this tutorial is basically how to set up your 2DS or 3DS, new or old, how to install the Game Boy games like Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Sega, Super Nintendo, any old classic games that a lot of people enjoy, how to inject that directly to your 3DS or 2DS and play it without having to have other applications on it like RetroArch and other things. That way it's just directly on the homepage of your 3DS and you can just play, and I'll show you the settings and everything. So this one's going to be for the Game Boy Advance because there's a lot of good games on that. So let's get it started, guys. So the things you will need a micro SD card. You will need a micro SD adapter if your computer does not have the port for it. And also the most important step is you will need to have custom firmware installed on your 2DS or 3DS. That's really important. I have I have a 2DS XL that I'm going to use for an example, and it's already on the latest firmware from Nintendo. Also, it's like it has homebrew on it. That way it allows me to install the games that I want by using ROMs. Just a side note, I'm using the latest 2DS XL, the newer one. That one runs all the games a lot better. So using Game Boy games for like the older 3DS or the old 2DS will work, but sometimes you might have a little stuttering just because the hardware on those devices are a lot like slower compared to the newer ones. So they do work on the old devices, but I would recommend the newer ones just so you don't have any issues with performance. So this is the website that I downloaded the program from. It's called New Super Ultimate Injector 3DS. And this program will allow you to inject NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. This is the program that I recommend for injecting it. That way, like I said earlier, that you don't have to use a program like RetroArch that has the games on there, but you have to go to another application to access them. This places it on your device. So I'm running Windows 8. I mean, I'm sure it'll run just fine for Windows 10 and etc. So sometimes you get a warning for downloading it just because that's how my security is for my computer. But anyway, just download it. It's fine. I'm showing you right now. I'm downloading and I'll open it. So once it's downloaded, you want to drag it to your desktop. Then use a program to extract it. I use WinRAR. Once it's extracted, this will be the file. I delete it. I don't like having a bunch of extra copies of it. And then open up the application. And this is the next step to get it started. So right now what we're doing is we're going to be doing Game Boy Advance games. And generally once you learn the Game Boy Advance, you can do all these if you would like. So the next thing you want to do is you want to do File. You want to do New, and then you want to go right here to Game Boy Advance CIA. Once you open that up, the next step you need to do is you need to find a ROM of a Game Boy Advance game that you would like. So once you have a ROM and you extract it, I have my ROMs folder right here. So once you have a ROM, you want to go to Load ROM. You look for the ROM that you have downloaded. So just make sure when you download it, you put it in a spot where you can find it. So for this one, we'll do Donkey Kong Country. That's a good game. So we open it up, and it'll fill out all these for you. Sometimes it doesn't, and it tells you to, but most games that are common that people use, it'll be there. So you could load a custom image file. So basically, the game icon is what's going to be installed on your device. So it's what you'll see, the picture of the game. So for this one, I like to download the game title, and for this one I like the title screen. So these are just like by width and by height. I like by width just because it fills the screen. Sometimes people like the title screen. Where's it at? Sometimes people like the game screen, like this one for example. And sometimes the border around it, I don't like it. So sometimes you could just take it off. This would be a flat image. So that way when you go to your 3DS, you'll just see this icon right here. These are all the settings. All the settings are pretty much there by default. They look pretty good. But if you want to add like a filter to anything, like a no dark filter or a soft dark filter, some people like that because that's how the original Game Boy advances. So you could do a soft filter. I like that for some games. So once you do that, you want to go to project, and then you want to put export CIA. So you need to have your SD card ready. So I'm going to take out the SD card out of my 2DS, and I'm going to slip it in the adapter and put it in my computer. So now we're going to put the SD card inside the computer. It'll load up, and then we want to look for the file. So we'll just start over. So you go to project, export CIA, and you want to find your SD card and place that in your CIA file of your 2DS or 3DS SD card. Name the file name to what game it is, because once you do a bunch of games, you can like lose track of the game. So it's important that you label it that way when you're ready to install it on your device, that you know you can differentiate the ROMs or the CIAs from each other. Alright, so CIA exported. Once you start the process, it takes like a few seconds, like 10-15 seconds, and then you'll get a notification like this to say that you're done. So next step is we'll put it inside the device and we'll install it. So for this next step, you want to go to the FBI app. Once you go to the FBI app, next thing you want to go is to SD, go to the CIAs, and then go to the game you want to install. So I did install Game Boy game, but we're just going to do the Lion King game just to show you that it works for each one. So it's going to take a few seconds to install. These games are really small, as I mentioned earlier. Once it's installed, you want to hit A, go back to the home screen menu, and a present should open up eventually. Give it a few seconds and it'll put you right to it, and you just unwrap it.